Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. And my name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady and welcome back to this week's Throwback Friday. It's number 68. Go on and let's go and see what I got for you. Okay, so as I said, I'd like to welcome in all of my old crazies and all of my new crazies. My older crazies and know what these Throwback Fridays are all about, but for those newer ones that have just popped in and not seen one before, the Throwback series are me showing you some old videos from last year and talking you through them. I've cut out the boring bits. I cut down if it's a book review to just show you the front cover to tease you. The same, of course, with any tutorials and anything else that I think you might not be overly interested in. Because what I also do is I pop in the I button up here, the original videos. So if it is something that interests you and you go, oh, I'd like to see more, you can click on that I button and go straight through to the original video. Right, so first up today is a Whips and Bits number 68. Come on, let's go and see what I was gabbering on about. Right, so and now on to what's been going on in the world of crazy this week. Well, as you know, because I've already said, his pattern's done. He's up on Ravelry. Link will be in the description box down below to the Ravelry page. Right, so if you do decide to purchase Max the Koala's pattern, I thought I'd give you a little bit of a breakdown as to what you get within the pattern, okay, and what's different from the YouTube patterns and of course the written. Right, and at no point am I saying you have to buy. If you want to sit and write it all down as you go, that is entirely up to you. Right, so within your pattern you get a stitch guide on how to do the C2C, and that is in both chart form and written pattern. Okay, you get a guide for converting from US to UK terms, as the pattern is written in US terms. You also get a section that's called the math breakdown, which is so that you can work out the different amounts of yarn usage. The sum is there, but you're going to have to do the math yourself. You also get your list of row-by-row box counts. You get hyperlinks to every one of the videos. That includes the tips and tricks video. And they work now, so if you purchase the pattern now, you can start it now, or at least once you've rated your yarn and made sure you've got all the right colours. And then you also receive within the written pattern a border, which is the border that is on Max here. And now that is not in the video tutorials, because of the way I see it, if you're going to pay for the pattern, I want to make sure you get a little bit extra at least, okay, because you're coughing up real money. So of course that is what you're getting within your pattern. Right, I've done that bit, now move on to the next bit. Right, and the tutorials for all of that, all of the entire thing, all the tutorials done, dusted, loaded up, ready to go. I'm quite shocked with myself. When you do finally get to see the very first video on Tuesday, I say Tuesday because on Monday we have got the C2C tips and tricks video 1. Now I've labelled it video 1 because I'm bound to have missed something out, and I'm hoping you guys will write some questions in the box, in the comment section, so that I can make video number 2. It's that simple. Help it go out. Brain cells gone to sleep. Now I've set that video up as a premiere because I've never done one before, and I pushed the button and haven't worked out how to take the button off again. So I've got to put my alarm on to make sure I'm here for my own premiere on Monday. So that is premiering, was it 10:30 AM GMT. If you don't make it, don't worry, it will still be on the channel, so you can watch it as normal. and that video will be getting linked to all future corner to corner videos anyway. Okay, so it is linked, of course, to Mr. Maximus, sorry, Max the Koala. I shouldn't really extend the name, should I? So no, it is linked to Max and each of the further videos that will be in the series. Now, when you get to view that first video, make sure you check that description box, because in there I will be adding any oops moments, as in I've said the wrong thing at this point, that point, the other. But YouTube are now letting us put chapters in our videos. Now the chapters mean that I can set it so that you've got a quick link to hop to each section. So if you're reading down and there's a section in there that you're like, oh, that's the question that I've got, I want the answer, you click on the number that's by the side, which is the timestamp, and it takes you directly to that video, that section of the video. Okay, that took me another hour to type out, but if it helps you, then I'm willing to do. It is that simple. So I've done that for the first video. I've got to go back and do it for video 2, 3 and 4, but I've done it for the first one, so I've got another week to go before I have to get really antsy about doing it again. But don't panic, I will have it done. I'll probably be setting to it tonight, to be honest. Right, so now time for the featured pattern. I think that's what I might have to call this little section. Right, so of course the last couple of weeks I've been adding a new pattern to Dory whenever I finally get around to completing one. And this time, the pattern is called the Up North Jumper, and it is by the Make and Do crew. Now there will be a link in the drop down box and down below to this video where you can make one yourself. It has got a written pattern attached that I believe is free. You might have to deal with a couple of ads as you're scooting through it, but it's free. And it comes in lots of different sizes. Now for my one, of course, I used a dream catcher. Now you will be getting a review for that next week. So I'm, as I said, oops, sorry, let me move over. It's a dream catcher by Stylecraft. This is a different colour cake, but I used 4 of them to make that jumper. That one just there by the side. I'll bring it up close in a second for you to have another nose at. And it's very simple. It is a 1 stitch all the way along, which if I remember rightly is a back loop only single crochet. Now with this yarn, it worked up lovely. It was nice to use, but when it came to sewing your seams, and I attempted to stick it on my needle and just pull it through, it did start felting. So I ended up having to crochet the seams together, which to be honest is something I actually prefer to do, because for me it works out a lot quicker. I hate sewing. Right, so let's bring Dory close so that you can have a look. Now also with this pattern, when I made it, I followed the wrong sizing. Now that not the wrong sizing, sorry, I followed the right sizing for me, for my height, for my width, but the model is 5 foot something and she's on the lower side, whereas I'm on the higher side. So I had to add rows when I'd finished. I had to add yeah, far too many rows, and so I just kept going until I'd pretty much run out of yarn. And stupidly forgot to add the rows to the sleeve. So mine sits there, there's no tugging it and sticking it over my hands like I normally would do with a jumper, because I like to have it hiding my hands if I can. But oh well, I did what I could with the yarn that I had. Right, so let's bring Dory forward. Oh. And move her around the mic so you can still hear me. There we go. Can you see it? Oh, by the way, that is 2 fridge magnets stuck together just to hold it so Dory doesn't flash any bits and pieces. Right, so with this pattern, which I'm actually going to have to move away from the camera. Right, so putting this one on the table is no good because it's too close and you can't see the detail. Right, so with this pattern, it is worked in back panel, 2 front panels. Then you make the ribbon section here to sew on, which is actually meant to be wider, but what I've actually done is attached it and looped it round on itself, so that when I've run the seam, you've only got the one seam and not three. Okay, so it's a hidden seam on the front, and of course on the back end of it, it's just the one seam. Oh dear. And it has, so of course I've had to add extra rows to the bottom of this as well, so don't look too closely, it's a bit wonky. Right, and then it has pockets as well, so you've got somewhere to put your hands, because the sleeves are too short. But other than that, the pattern is lovely, and the pattern is really easy to do. It is just a case of, I'm not good with jumpers yet. I haven't made enough clothing. I've made shawls and lots of them, but I haven't made clothing, so I am still learning when it comes to how many extra rows I'm going to need just to cover my bum. Once I've sussed that out properly, then I will be able to adjust these rib sections and the sleeves and everything else to match. But when I made this, I didn't. I knew nothing. Right, so that is the front. And then turn it round, it is a very simple, the back of it is a very simple stitch all the way along. Right, and let's put Dory back. My arm's falling off. So of course that is my take on the Up North jumper by the Make and Do crew. Hook I used was the one suggested. Don't ask, I don't remember. And when it came to seaming, I did actually use a smaller hook. It was like one size down, but again, I can't remember. And if you're wondering about the glasses, oops, sorry for the wiggle, I just need the table. I had to stop filming and take Spud out for a W. He was getting antsy and it had stopped raining. So, little story. We went over to the local field where everybody takes their dogs to play, not the nature reserve, the other one. And I bumped into a lady with a little white fluffy dog. Very, very friendly little dog, and we've spoken before, so we knew that the dogs were okay to play. So as I've let Liam off the lead after they'd said hello and they are running loops, the lady looks at me, she gives me a funny look as I call out Liam's name, and she says, "Liam." Not the Liam. I said, "Well, he's the only one I know of in the area." And she looked at me, she grinned and she went, "Your daughter, does she wear a yellow jumper that says Australia on it all the time?" I said, "Yeah, it's her go-to favourite." "Why?" She went, "Because I'm the lady who Liam tiddled on the other month." I was like, no! Now I can put a name to the face to the story. But, oh, he was a tinker, isn't he? And he also got to play with two 11-month-old collies. Oh, they are so, so cute, the two boys. He had another bit of a run round, so he's had fun. We've been out for about an hour. He's run himself ragged, so now he is just chilling in his bed. Right, so a poppy update. Here it is so far. This is my box so far. It's a so far box, okay? Meaning Poppy ain't finished the freaking poppies. Okay, so this will be another box of 60, and I will have it complete and up there by Sunday. Okay, so I'm being cheeky, I'm being naughty, and I'm breaking my normal rules about declaring boxes before they're finished. But it's getting done. I'm going to do this while sitting down, having me lunch and me dinner and everything else. They are this evening's jobs. Okay, so that will bring the final the total as it stands at the moment to finally 660. And I've even got some more poppy fronts that I might carry on doing. Because I carried on going, of course, where I've been making them when I've been out on travel. So make them in the car while the husband's driving. So I'm getting close to having another box ready once I've finished making more poppies and sewing them all together. But hey ho, bonus thing is I've got something else to look forward to. Right, so a little poppy update. I did manage to get the 1,000 done in time for the Royal British Legion popping out their tables at the end of October, beginning of November. You will see the celebration on my face in a later Throwback Friday. This year I haven't actually made any as yet because new rules have come in, which means that I would be classed as a mass producer if I made 1,000, and I'd have to properly do it all and class myself as a business and all this sort of other stuff. which is all financial. So I ain't doing it. I may do a few so that I can bring the poppy account, overall poppy count, up to possibly 3,000, because in total at the moment I've done 2,600. Insane, aren't I? Right, so talking of winner only patterns, I know that some of you may have heard the term but wouldn't actually know what these patterns are. Now, these patterns are based off of characters from films. Okay, so because of this, I'm not able to sell the patterns, but I don't want to waste them because I made them, I love them, and I think you guys will like them too. And so that is why they are winner only patterns. What I do say in the pattern is to please not sell them like the finished item, because the companies may chase you down for the profits. Okay, but make them, give them away, take photographs, share them out, show them off, go for it, and make sure you send me a picture because you know how I love your pictures. Right, so what I'm now going to do is give you 2 code words. Okay, they sound like the companies, but it's not. One is dismay and the other one is marvelous. Okay, so it's dismay and marvelous. So hopefully you've cottoned on as to which 2 companies these characters are from. So this month coming, your options, if you are lucky enough to win a winners only pattern, are from the let's go marvelous first. From the marvelous set, you have got tree and a flower pot. Okay, so sit there, think about it. Which one of the marvelous characters likes standing in a flower pot? And you'll know you'll know who it is. The second one is, of course, a webtastic. So think of the one character that throws webs everywhere and makes a complete mess of the area he lives in. There you go, you've sussed it, that's who it is. And next up is the dismay set. Now, of course, I've been going on and on and on about the stitching time. The clue's in the name. It's really big. The stitching time. Okay, and that one is huggable. He's so cute. And then this month coming, for the month of August, the new pattern is an accident prone elephant. That's right, I couldn't think of anything better to explain him. He is, of course, a dismay character. He is extremely clumsy. He trips over his own ears. He accidentally gets drunk during bath time. Saying that, so do some of us. He leaps from tall buildings. And for some reason, he climbs trees but doesn't know how he gets there. So that is your clues of this month. Have you sussed it? I think you have. Just say in the chat, I sussed it. You don't need to name the character. I think we're pretty much all there. So as I said, those are the winning the patterns that you could win this month. And future months, the only thing is I will only be offering 4 per month, or a choice of 4 each month. So next month we will be losing the tree in a flower pot and gaining a new one. So remember, the only way you can get your hands on these patterns is to either come in and join in on a live while it's live and win them there, or win them on competitions on this channel. Okay, so update on the winner only patterns. There are something like 10 or 11 of them now. I only offer 1 a month now because it got very, very confusing. So it's normally, if I'm putting them up, I will tell you what they are. If you are lucky enough to win a Vault Pass, you get a list. And then, of course, you get to choose which one you would like from that list. Let's have a look at the next video up today. That one is the C2C tips and tricks video. Now I'm only going to give you the little bit at the beginning, and the whole video, of course, will be linked in the I button above or in the description box down below. I'd like to welcome you all to my corner to corner tips and tricks video. Now, some of you will notice that I have been rather cheeky with this one. I have removed tips and tricks from my latest cow, or at least the cow that was the latest when this video also went out. But all tips and tricks on this video will apply to every blanket in the future, or even the ones that are already on the channel. So please remember, there are other blankets on this channel, not just the one that you get to see today, or at least a little teaser of today. Okay, so the patterns that are already on the channel that you could use these tips and tricks to help you out with are the Crazy Cupcake C2C Easy Blanket. Now this one does look really difficult, but out of all of my blankets, this one is the easiest because the squares that you're making for this blanket are not massive, and there's not a lot of colour changes. Okay, and you can also start this blanket with just a plain square of so you get used to the stitch and working the stitch before you then move on to the cupcake itself. Now that is hashtag 06. Okay, that is the Crazy Cupcake C2C Easy Blanket. It's got a wickedly gorgeous border on it. Right, the next one up is the unicorn blanket. That seems to be the most popular on the channel, and to be honest, I love seeing them. It is hashtag 09. My next one up was the mystery cow. It was the 2020 Christmas mystery cow, hashtag 10. Now that one's a penguin, and the penguin's wearing a cheeky hat and a cheeky scarf, and that is where I introduce option A's. So if during a video I say, oh, this is an option A colour or an option B colour, it means it's a colour that you're able to change out easily. Right, and then the last one up was the Moose, a corner to corner blanket slash playmat. Now the reason it is a blanket slash playmat is because I made it with a DK yarn, like I do with all my blankets. And it was massive, and for me it was already the size of a nice size for a baby playmat. So if you'd up the size of your yarn on that one, you'd have a decent size playmat. Now that one is the Moose C2C blanket slash playmat, and it is hashtag 14. And of course, in the month of August, we also have the new corner to corner. I'm not spoiling you on that one, just in case I get this video out a little bit earlier. You will get to see some of the colours that we will be using, so keep an eye out on the channel on the Sunday Whips, Bits and Chats videos, and of course on the lives where you will get first sneaky peek at the pattern before it goes live. Now for your tips and tricks. Enjoy! All patterns that were discussed in that video will now be linked on the end screen of this video. It's in the playlist. The next video that I put out that week was, of course, the Max the Koala, and it was a part 1, which was the introduction and first set of rows to get you going. So I'll just show you the introduction, and of course I will be linking the pattern either above, or it will be on the end screen in the playlist I spoke about a few moments ago. Now with Max the Koala, not only is the pattern free already on in the tutorials playlist, but there is a written pattern over on Ravelry, and a yarn pack is being hosted by the Secret Yarn Stash. Now with the yarn pack, it has all of the yarn that you will need to make your own Max the Koala. But I'm sorry to say it is only available to my UK crazies, because posting it out to other countries is astronomical. I'm just going to put it like that. So it's only offered to our UK crazies, I'm sorry to say. And I'd like to welcome you to this month's crochet along, and it is for this cheeky guy here. This is Max our koala. So this pattern of course is a corner to corner. Now I choose to do corner to corner so that all my left-handed and all my right-handed crazies, I can do it all at the same time. The only difference is what side you sew your ends in. So this section is the introduction. So for your introduction you need to grab yourself a pen and a bit of paper, or follow the link that will be in the drop down description box, because this pattern is now live on my Ravelry page. That's right, pattern number 2, it's up, it's on, it's ready to go. So if you're being cheeky and you're gonna write the pattern down as you go, that is fine as well. Be warned, this brown section here, which is video number 2, is awkward, so you may have to listen to it 4, maybe 5 times to double, triple check that you have got the black and the brown in the right order, because it's a piglet of a video, but the rest of the set of videos are nice, easy, and not too much of fiddling around to get your koala sorted. Right, so let's get on with what yarn you need. So you can either go and raid your stash, or you can order it from a supplier. Now, if you're in the UK and you haven't already come across this company, I actually am now purchasing all of my my yarns that I'm using in these blankets, which is the Signet Pato Everyday. Yeah, messy, I know. It's my leftovers. But my Signet Pato I get for £1.20 a ball, and I get that from the Secret Yarn Stash. Now, there is an affiliated link in of course the drop down box down below. So Louisa does also have the Signet Little Ones DK, which are mini 25g balls, and they are 80p a pop. So if you don't want to have a big chunk of leftovers, they are a good idea as well. And if you use that, you're going to get yourself 10% off your first order, so that's pretty good for you. It doesn't cost you anything to use the link. It's just a cheeky way of getting you onto the site quicker, save you having to type out the name. But if you do place an order with them, I do get a little bit of a kickback, and I get points, and I use those points to buy the poppy red and the poppy black yarn up there. So you will actually be helping me raise money, and just by popping your order through there. That's if you like their prices. And remember, if you spend 30 quid there, I get 1 ball of poppy red, and that I can turn into 60 poppies, and those 60 poppies can turn into a minimum of 120 quid for the Royal British Legion. So bonus, a win-win, and hopefully we're all happy, because I've found somewhere that's got nice cheap yarn for you guys, and they're helping us out to support the poppy appeal. But let's go back to this cheeky guy here. Right, have you got your notepads? Fingers crossed you have. Right, so you are going to need, I will attempt to write it on the side of the screen here. I might end up blocking my head, so good luck. Right, so you are going to need 120 grams of white. Now, these numbers are all in DK, okay? If you're going to be using a different size yarn, you are going to have to do the mental math yourself, okay? I've just got the math here on how much I have used, and I've also rounded it up so that you're not going to be playing yarn chicken like I thought I was doing at one point. Right, so back to it. We have got the white. It's 125 grams, so just purchase 2 balls of 100 grams. Makes it easier, because we all know there's going to be another project later on this channel that you may end up using that on. Or if not this channel, somewhere else. White's one of them colours, it's a go-to, isn't it? Right, then we have got black, which is 75 grams, 1 ball. And then you have brown. Now, brown is a 25 gram. If you do use the Secret Yarn Stash, have a word with Louisa. She does little mini balls as well. Right, so you are going to need 25 grams of brown, 5 grams of green, 5 grams of pink, and 100 grams of grey. So remember, those green and pinks you may be able to find in your little stash bin, because sometimes it's not worth cracking open a new ball of yarn when you got a bit of leftovers left over. Right, so that is what you're going to need. Now on to the desktop table, where I'm going to show you what hook size you need and all the other bits and pieces, and talk you through that, and then we can start the pattern. Have fun, everybody. And so the weights that I gave there were for a DK a weight yarn, okay? That is a 3 weight or an 8 ply if you're in the US or Australia. So the next video I have for you is a quick brief look at Crochet Now issue number 71. I'm just going to show you the front cover and the first little intro section, and then if you like the look of it, of course, click that I button and jump through to the original video. Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela and I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and as I told you last week, I have been a very naughty poppy. I went out to get my lunch and I came back with 2 magazines, and now this one is the second one that I chose. Or should I say the second one I got? There wasn't exactly a lot of choice. Right, now this one is the Crochet Now magazine. It is issue number 71. And in the UK, it's priced at £7.99. Ouch, quite steep. Right, so I've already split the top like I've done before. So let's have a look. Now on the packaging itself, they are stating, let's have a quick nose, it's easier to read like this, that we have got an extra stitch marker set, official Wallace and Gromit patterns, 39 must-have patterns. There is an extra craft magazine, 5 amazing blankets for all skill levels, win a year of a yarn from Sheepsies, and 20% off luxury yarns. Oh, I'll best keep an eye out for them ones then. Right, so here is the stitch marker bracelet set. They've got little ice creams on. How cute are they? That's not actually a bad idea. We could all knock one of these up quite quickly by nicking one of our daughters, our granddaughters, bracelets, or of course going down the pound shop and buying some of our own. Why haven't I thought of that? You know what I'm like. I always lose my stitch markers. Right, let's pop that just to there. Right, our next item is, I'm going to sneakily have a look. Oh, okay, so the bonus magazine is called Your Crochet and Knitting. Oh no, don't tell me that the official patterns are all in knit, because otherwise that's me stitched up. I was hoping to make some for my dad. His birthday was last month. I'm a bit behind, but luckily, because he lives far enough away, I can blag it that I made them beforehand. Okay, did I make any of the patterns out of those books? No. How bad am I? Right, okay, the last video up I have for you today is the yarn review, which was the Dreamcatcher. So come on, let's go and have a look at that. And today I'm back for another review. This time it is for the Dreamcatcher yarn by Stylecraft. Now I'm showing you this one, although the one that I'm going to be using is the remains from that jumper. Now the link for that jumper's pattern will be in the description box and down below. And if it was a YouTube pattern, I will also have the link up there as well. I don't know whether I'm coming or going today. Right, so I'll pop a couple of pictures up for that jumper so you can see what it looks like, and then we will jump down to the other camera and get on with the review. Okay, so here's the finished jumper. This isn't one of my patterns. I will put a link in the description box for the pattern. It's really lovely and very simple to do, and it's only single crochet. But the review itself was for the yarn. Do I like it? Yes. Do I think it looks pretty? Yes. Wearability and how long it's going to last, I really don't know. I've probably worn it about 15 times. I washed it just as many, or maybe 1 or 2 less, because I'll have worn it, left it to hang and worn it the next day. But I don't know if you're going to be able to see the edge of this with all of the bobbling. But this is very normal, I believe, for this yarn anyway. And it's all over. So every time I wash it, I have to sit there and gently remove all of the bobbly bits and all the felted bits, which I haven't actually done. Well, it's not felted yet, but all of the bobbly bits I have to remove, and I haven't done that yet since I washed it last. So that's why I can show it to you today and go, ooh, more bobbly bits. Right, so that is it. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm going to head off now. So I'm going to say stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody.